Latinos started having a political presence in New York dating back to the late 1800s when Cuban Jose Marti established himself as a powerful political figure uniting efforts for a Cuban independence.
Others like Albizu Campos, who came to the United States as well, engaged in similar kinds of thinking and organizing. And they came here for a variety of reasons, but they built thinking and organizations here that helped very often to liberate Latin America from colonial powers.
At that time, New York started seeing Puerto Rican settlement, a migration that increased once the island became a U.S. territory.
There was no question about their potential to become a voting bloc for any politician who could get their services, right?
In the 1930s, East Harlem became a barrio and the main hub for Puerto Ricans.
They were able to put together organizations. In the very beginning, most of them were Hispanic organizations, but eventually became more Puerto Rican organizations for a variety of reasons. And so they established a foothold.
And that foothold made its mark in 1937 when Oscar Garcia Rivera was elected as a New York State Assembly member, becoming the first Puerto Rican to be elected in the continental United States. Many experts say Vito Marcantonio, the Italian-American councilman representing El Barrio at the time, had a lot to do with his election.
He represented East Harlem and Barrio, and he did enormous things to improve the condition of the Puerto Rican community in New York City, from helping to create benefits during World War II that were not coming to that community, to advocating for independence of Puerto Rico.
The largest wave of migration of Puerto Ricans to New York took place in the 1950s and consequently became a stronger political force and using this power to fight for issues like eliminating the English test in order to vote.
During the 60s and early 70s, you had a radicalization of the Puerto Rican Latino community, and that radicalization, believe it or not, probably had a very significant impact as well, because I attribute the election of Hernan Badillo to Congress, the first Puerto Rican elected to Congress, to the fact that the young lords were stirring up so much trouble in New York.
Dominicans started migrating to New York in the 1960s and had a sizable number by the 1980s. The following decade, New York City's Latino immigrant population expanded enormously with more Dominicans, Colombians, and Mexicans. The political power Puerto Ricans had acquired was spread, and in 1996, Adriano Espaillat became the first Dominican-American elected to a state house in the United States.
And you could ask many of the Dominicans who got elected into office even back in the 1990s, they will tell you that they became involved because they saw and were helped by Puerto Ricans and organizations that were involved in doing this kind of work.
Now the Latino political representation accounts for over 50 elected officials at a local and state level. But many experts, including Sanchez, argue that numbers are not enough to guarantee a strong political force. He suggests the community still needs a strong mobilization in order to make their needs taken care of by elected officials, and also to be able to get the Latino mayor or even a governor Latinos are still waiting for.